welcome to Holly and Glenn's Reef. This is a Fluval Evo, it's a 13.5, and we have 35 living animals in here. So we have 8 crabs, 12 snails, 4 fish, and 11 coral. I am going to go ahead and talk about the coral that we have in our reef, and then I will let Glenn discuss all of the upgrades that he has done to the tank. Okay, so we're gonna start right here. And this is a GSP, which is a green star polyp coral. In the back left corner, we have a zoa. Right here is an octospawn, which is my favorite. And then we have an acan. Right here is a bubble tip anemone. This is the only anemone that we have in the tank. And right now it is closed up, but it looks like it's starting to come back out. Up here on the top right of the rock, we have our second zoa. And down below is a hammerhead coral. Our third zoa. And right here is a torch and our Duncan. So we absolutely love all of our corals. We got married at an aquarium and we just fell in love with trying to create our own reef at home, and we pretty much did all of this within 3 months. And so now I'm going to talk about the fish that we have in the tank. We have 2 clownfish, which is Charleston and Nemo. Charleston because we got married at the aquarium in Charleston, South Carolina. So we have Charleston and little Nemo. And then we have 2 Mandarin dragonettes. We have a larger male and a smaller female. And we absolutely love our dragonettes. Okay, and so now you're probably wondering, how do we feed the Mandarin dragonettes? And we actually have been feeding them Polyp roe, which is fish eggs, and they love it. So that's been working out great for us. Okay, and now Glenn is going to come and talk about all of the upgrades that he did to the tank.
All right, hey everybody, it's Glenn. I'm here to talk about our upgrades that we've done on the Evo 13.5, and we've done a lot of upgrades. So I went through, when I got this tank, I didn't realize that I was gonna have to do all these upgrades. I want the best life for our fishes inside. And so watching all these YouTube videos, I gathered a lot of different information, a lot of different ideas, and I merged those with some of my own, and I'm gonna talk about those. So one of the big complaints about the stock 13.5 is the light. And so I quickly realized that the functionality of that light combined with a timer to turn it on and off was not cutting it, because when it first comes on, it goes straight to white and you have to physically go over and press the button for it to go to blue. And it's either all white or all blue, nothing in between, no ramp up or ramp down. So my solution to keep the cover, my solution for a new light and to keep the cover, which we wanted to do so that it looks nice in our living room, is to upgrade to the Sea Marine 3.0. So that's the Fluval Sea Marine 3.0. This thing is packed with functionality, Bluetooth connectivity, and you can program it. So I've got 10 functions in the programming, ramps up during the day, has a small rest around 3 to 5 p.m. where the white light fades out and goes to 0, and we continue on with the blue, ramps back up to 100% on the blue, and we run these lights for the fish 12 hours and the coral. In addition to the 3.0, I also, by looking on YouTube, found something called a Mingdak LED light from Amazon, and I'll drop a link in the description below for every one of these upgrades. So if you feel like it might fit your tank, you can go ahead and pick one of those up. But the Mingdak 11-inch LED bar, and that's right under the hood in front of the 3.0 light. That comes on It's on a timer, and I've got these Amazon plugs, and it's all connected to Amazon and set with a timer, so that comes on and it's 100% blue for the whole day. So that increases the par for the coral throughout the day, the whole entire 12 hours that we've got the light on. Some of the other upgrades I did notice with this the 3.0 marine light from Fluval is it gets really hot. So my solution to that was this fan right here, and that stays on 24 hours a day, even when the light's off. Just I don't have a timer for that, but that's from Amazon, and it's called an AC Infinity USB multi-fan S1. So that keeps the temperature in the tank consistent throughout the day, and it works fantastic. Something else you'll notice, there's a light in the background, and it's underneath the back of the aquarium, and that's just a under monitor light bar. And one of the other things that I upgraded is the RFGs, so random flow generators coming off the outlet valves. I got 2 of those, and because I upgraded the RFGs, I had to upgrade the pump. So we got a larger capacity pump, and that pump is called a SICK Syncra Silent pump, and it works just fine. Some of the other things that you can't see right now, I'm going to cut to those, is I've got a mini UV sanitizer light that's in chamber number 1, along with the Fluval PS2 skimmer, and that thing works great to keep our nitrate levels in check. In chamber number 2, I upgraded to the intake chamber 2 media basket, where we put filter floss and charcoal and the other media filtration that we have in that chamber number 2. In the 3rd chamber is the pump, and we also have the Cobalt Neotherm heater. I chose this heater because it's very slim and fits nice in with that pump, and so it leaves room for everything. I just want to point out one of the things, the mods that I did to this tank, is if you notice right in here, in between the media basket 1 and 2, I put putty, because what I was noticing is that all the water from this side would just go through to this side, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted the water to go all the way through the filtration and into chamber number 3. So I closed all these off except for 2 at the top. So you have the skimmer here, and then the water goes up and into the top of media basket 2 through the filtration system, and then into chamber number 3 with the pump and the heater. All right, most recently, one of the upgrades, I got tired of putting water in the tank every 2 days, so I got a ATO, and I'll show you that setup. It's called the Auto Aqua Smart ATO Lite. It works perfectly, and we've got that set up nice in here, so it works seamlessly, flawlessly. All right, some of the accessories that we got. I just want to talk about the Milwaukee digital salinity tester. I did start out with a refractometer, and I felt like it wasn't accurate enough, so I went ahead and purchased the Milwaukee salinity tester. Super easy, and it's really important on a tank this size with I know it's called a 13.5, but with the rock that we have, the displacement of water, we only have 10 gallons of water in here. So it's really important with the skimmer, water changes, that you keep your salinity in check, especially when we have this many coral inside this small of a tank. But everything's working great, and Holly mentioned that we feed our Mandarin dragonets fish eggs, and I've come up with a really ingenious solution on how to acquire those fish eggs and how to get these fish to eat. And I know you're going to say, oh, you can't have those dragonets in this small of a tank, but they are thriving. They love the food that we give them. I turn off all the pumps so that there's no water flow for about 5 minutes, 3 times a day, sometimes twice a day. and put those fish eggs in there. They float to the bottom, and the fish know it's time to eat, and they come out and they just start pecking away at the ground in the sand. So super happy about this tank, super excited to share this tank with you and what we've created in our house. We've brought the ocean to us, and it's so enjoyable to sit here and watch this. Sometimes we'll just turn off the TV, play some music, and just watch our Nano Reef for hours. It's so enjoyable. We love these things. They're like our little children. So all of them, because everything in here is living, even the corals. So you spot feed those things, and you can just see them moving and grasping that, taking in all that food, especially the anemone. The anemone is crazy. It's crazy to have that. And I put that anemone in there, and I just kind of gently put it into this little crack in this top rock, and it hasn't moved since. So it's super happy, and it has a character of its own. So it's so cool to watch these things. All right, so I'm going to show you guys the secret to feeding your Mandarin dragonettes. And it's going to look crazy, but this is called Polyp roe. And so all you got to do is, if you have an Asian store, we have a place called Super G Mart here in Charlotte. And this is what it looks like. So it's frozen right now, of course. And what I did was I would thaw out a piece of this, and it looks really crazy, I know. Thaw out a piece of this, and then cut it down the middle. And then with a spoon or whatever, you get out this gunky material, and then I put it in a jar. And then when it completely thaws out, when you prepare it to feed to the fish, it has hundreds of small, tiny eggs. And what I think is that the Mandarin dragons think they are copepods, because they're really tiny eggs. So like I said, you have to get this out, put it in a shot glass or whatever, and get a turkey baster and just put the eggs on the substrate and turn off the pumps, and they will come. If you feed them this, they will come. Like I said, I think they think they're copepods, and they're not fast swimmers or fast. They don't go after their prey, so you have to turn off the pumps. These little eggs will fall to the bottom, and your Mandarin dragons will be happy. I know it sounds crazy, this looks crazy, but if you love your Mandarin dragons and you don't have a refugium that has a ton of copepods, I feel like this is the best option. So that is the story of the Polyp roe.
I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Maybe you even learned a little something. And we will be back with another episode once we add a couple more items to this little tank.